starts right now.
Coming at you as I love to do every weekday over the national airwaves of ESPN Radio and ESPN News, 250 plus markets across the United States of America. Check your AM, FM listing nearest you, plus ESPN Radio on Sirius XM Channel 80, plus ESPN Radio. Simulcast over the live national television airwaves of ESPN News. Number to call up is always 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. The Stephen A. Smith Show is being brought to you by mycomputercareer.edu. Training for a better life. Let's get right to it because we got a jam-packed show coming your way today. Obviously, you all saw what took place last night in Baltimore, Maryland. This dude, Lamar Jackson, is something special. The numbers don't necessarily bear that out. Just 17 to 23 for 163 yards. I mean, he completed better than 70% of his passes, but the bottom line, it's not like he had a 300 or 400-yard passing game. We recognize that, but I'll tell you something. When I sat up there and I looked at Bill Belichick on that sideline, earlier on, when the Patriots were on the verge of getting blown out the building, if it wasn't for 2 consecutive turnovers by the Baltimore Ravens, it might have been a blowout. It could have easily been 24-0 before they had a chance to pass gas. That's how the Baltimore Ravens were running roughshod over the New England Patriots. They seemed slower. They seemed smaller. They seemed weaker. They seemed less efficient. And as a result, you've got to take into account the fact that John Harbaugh, after a bye week, record is 10-2. Got to take all of those things into consideration. Bill Belichick ain't the only great coach in the National Football League. John Harbaugh is somebody to pay attention to as well. But that's not the reason why you should be alarmed. When I looked at Lamar Jackson last night, playing against these New England Patriots, his ability to run this football had what is it, about 16 carries for 61 yards, had an 18-yard scamper down the right side of the football field on the New England Patriots, ran for another touchdown. When you see what this dude can do with his legs, I don't know how you scheme against that. You can engage in pocket containment and all of that other stuff, particularly if you're a team like the Los Angeles Chargers that did it to Aaron Rodgers yesterday when you got Ingram and Bosa on the ends, basically keeping Aaron Rodgers within the pocket. Maybe you could do something like that to Brady, especially since he can't run like an Aaron Rodgers. Damn sure can't run like a Lamar Jackson. But let me tell you something. I don't know if anything will work because the way that Lamar Jackson can run with this football, he runs better than most running backs. And if he has to scamper out of the pocket from the middle as opposed to getting around the edges, it doesn't seem to matter. And from my vantage point, I'm going to tell you what I walked away. I walked away with 2 thoughts watching Lamar Jackson perform on the football field last night against the New England Patriots. I walked away with 2 feelings, 2 things prevalent in my mind. Number 1, Lamar Jackson was a better quarterback than Tom Brady was on the field yesterday. Let's call it what it is. The better quarterback was a 22-year-old phenom playing for the Baltimore Ravens. That's number 1. No way around it. Number 2, watching Lamar Jackson play, every time you watch this kid perform, Jalen Hurts out of Oklahoma, formerly out of Alabama, becomes a surefire high first-round pick. Because when you look at Jalen Hurts, his ability to articulate himself, his smarts, his leadership capability, his unquestioned athleticism, and the fact that when his team's on a football field, they win games. It's undeniable that you can't look at a Lamar Jackson based off of his years at Louisville and the phenom that he is and then turn around and ignore what you're getting from Jalen Hurts at Oklahoma under Lincoln Riley. Another thought that came to my mind. We've been sitting there bloviating about Lincoln Riley and how he needs to be the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, playing a Monday Night Football game against the New York Giants tonight, by the way. And you know what we didn't think about? Dallas Cowboys ain't the only team that should be able to get their hands on this kid. This man. That is Lincoln Riley. How about the Houston Texans? How about the New York Jets? How about the Cleveland Browns? Because I got news for you. They all could use him. Houston's winning games because of Deshaun Watson. Nobody's a real fan of Bill O'Brien. I mean, I like him. I respect him. But do I think they could be doing a better job in Houston that they've been doing over the last few years? Yes, I do. But Deshaun Watson is such a stud and they're winning football games. Why upset the apple cart? You can make an argument there. But when you look at the atrocity that is the New York Jets, and if Sam Darnold is somebody you believe in, and Lincoln Riley is en route to having his third consecutive Heisman Trophy winner at the quarterback position, clearly deserving of the credit for the greatness of Baker Mayfield as an Oklahoma Sooner, the greatness of Kyler Murray as an Oklahoma Sooner, the greatness of Jalen Hurts as an Oklahoma Sooner, all attached to Lincoln Riley. You want this dude to be your quarterback fixer. If you got a quarterback you believe in that is the face of your franchise, why not this guy? If I'm Cleveland, I fire Freddie Kitchens the second this season is over. If not right now, just to bring in Lincoln Riley. I'd promise him the damn job now. If Baker Mayfield means that much to you, and I feel bad for saying that about Freddie Kitchens because here's the deal. Do I think he's in over his head? Yes, I do. Do I think he's not necessarily ready for prime time as a head coach? Yes, I do. Do I think that the Cleveland Browns have shown just that? Yes, I do. But it's not like I had a problem with his play calling. In most instances, not getting Odell Beckham Jr. to football is egregious and inexplicable. Targeting him only 4 times in the red zone is inexplicable. Having a great wide receiver like Odell Beckham Jr. catch just 1 touchdown on the entire year and have just 2 100-yard-plus games in 8 tries, that stuff is inexcusable. Those are indictments against Freddie Kitchens, no doubt. But we don't know how much Baker Mayfield has had to do with that. We really, really don't. And so when you consider that and you take that into consideration, it's just undeniable. It's just undeniable what we're talking about here. It really is. And so I would say to you, Freddie Kitchens clearly has promise as far as I'm concerned, but he should never have had this job. And I'm looking at GM John Dorsey. What the hell are you? We all know why Freddie Kitchens had the head coaching job in Cleveland. He's got the head coaching job in Cleveland because Baker Mayfield, after just 1 season on the damn job, said, this is my guy. And John Dorsey took that into consideration. This dude is in his first year. Who gives a damn about what Baker Mayfield has to say about who the head coach should be after 1 season on a damn job? This is some inexcusable stuff. And so if you're John Dorsey, you got to make amends for that. A guy goes from your running backs coach to your offensive coordinator to your head coach inside of 8 months. It's pretty embarrassing that you allowed that to happen. But ladies and gentlemen, I don't know too many things more embarrassing than the New York Jets at this particular moment in time. What an atrocity. It's bad enough that you lost. It's bad enough that you're 1-7. It's bad enough that you don't seem to know what the hell you're doing. Not just as a head coach, but as an organization. But to lose to the winless Miami Dolphins, to watch Gatorade poured on the shoulder of Brian Flores, to watch the Miami Dolphins stroll into their house at Hard Rock Stadium and with a bunch of no-names with Ryan Fitzpatrick as your quarterback, managed to upend the New York Jets. I mean, I don't know how speechless I am. 26-18 was the final score. Sam Darnold, 27 to 39, 260 yards, a touchdown. Le'Veon Bell averaging nearly 4 yards a carry, 17 carries for 66 yards. I bet you he wish he was still in Pittsburgh. I mean, just look at the receivers that Ryan Fitzpatrick was throwing to. Some dude named Gesicki, P. Williams, Parker, Grant. I mean, who the hell are these people? Their starting running back was some dude named Walton, had 12 catches for 29 yards. They're hapless for a reason. But somehow, some way, they managed to beat the New York Jets. Ladies and gentlemen, let me be very, very clear. I've never been a fan of Adam Gase. I believe that the brother showed up to his introductory press conference as the New York Jets head coach. Ha! I'm going to say it again. Ha! Now, I don't know what the hell he was on, but it was on something. Look at Mike Maccagnan looking at this man. Look at Christopher Johnson looking at this man. I mean, he can barely even, I don't even want to look at him. I don't know what the hell. You talk about a brother that looked buzzed out. That was Adam Gase. I don't care what anybody says. He looked buzzed out. I don't give a damn if he was on a bottle of Diet Mountain Dew or Mountain Dew. He was buzzed on something. Having said that, his performance as head coach of the New York Jets clearly has indicated something ain't right with him. I don't think he knows what the hell he's doing. Now, he was talking to the referees there. He looked lucid and alert there. But this guy does not look like head coaching material. He doesn't galvanize. He doesn't inspire. He doesn't max out the potential of the pieces around him. He looks beaten while on the sideline. It all looks completely lost. Sam Darnold looks even worse than he was. He looks like he's regressed. And Adam Gase was supposed to get this job specifically to avoid regression on the part of Sam Darnold. Don't tell me that this team ever under Todd Bowles looked this bad. And for those of you who would be stupid enough to call up to this show and say, wait a minute, Stephen A. I mean, Zach Taylor and the Cincinnati Bengals don't look better than they look with Marvin Lewis. Marvin Lewis had 16 years. I didn't tell y'all to hire Zach Taylor. I said Marvin Lewis needed to go because in 16 years, the man couldn't win a playoff game. I stand by that. I have nothing against Marvin Lewis. But 16 years on the job, you can't get one postseason victory in 16 years. It's time for a change. In Adam Gase's case, what the hell did you do in Miami? What the hell did you do in Miami that warranted you getting the head coaching job in the Mecca, New York City? What did you do? The answer is nothing. Christopher Johnson, what the hell were you thinking about? Woody Johnson has to give up controlling interest in the New York Jets. Why? Because he decides to become the UK of the United States, or the ambassador for the United States to the UK. He gives controlling interest in the franchise to his little brother, Christopher. And what does Christopher do? He goes out and he hires Adam Gase. He doesn't hire Mike McCarthy, doesn't hire anybody else. He hires Adam Gase. And after he hires Adam Gase, before the man has conducted a practice for the season, before a preseason game has taken place and he's coached in one of those, this man lets go of Mike Maccagnan, the GM, empowers Adam Gase to hire the new general manager, which is Joe Douglas from the Eagles. We don't know how good it is. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He's around a long time, had a damn good reputation coming from Philadelphia. We got to show this man respect and give him a chance. But the fact is he's hurt. He's blemished by his association with Adam Gase because everybody knows Adam Gase should have been the damn head coach of the New York Jets. Now, does that mean he should be fired right now? No. Because what is that going to resolve? Your season stinks. It's over. Might as well let him stink right along with it. I mean, the Jets are so stink, it looks like Adam Gase poured manure on his damn self. I mean, that's just awful. Absolutely awful. By the way, as an aside, I applaud my brothers in crime. Michael Kay, Don Juan LaGreca and the crew, because they had Adam Gase on their show last week. And you had people stupidly asserting they should be hard on Adam Gase. Well, when the man admits to you it's a bad coaching job, when he admits it's his fault, when he admits that he has to hold himself to a higher level of accountability and get these guys steered in the right direction, what the hell do you want Michael Kay and Don Juan LaGreca to say? Along with Peter, what do you want them to say? There's nothing they can really say. So all I'm saying is I can't knock them for that. But in the end, what it comes down to is Adam Gase should not be the head coach of the New York Jets. Go ahead and finish the season. The season's a wash. It's a joke. Once again, Jets fans, the Jets franchise has robbed Jets fans of their hard-earned dollars. They subjected Jets fans to a level of misery that's damn near unparalleled. I give it to the Jets. At least they didn't wait to ruin the holidays. They did it from the beginning of the season. So by the holidays, you should be over it to some degree. Resign to the fact that your team stinks yet again. You're going nowhere yet again. Christopher Johnson ain't nothing more than an extension of his brother when it comes to this franchise. Yet again, y'all ain't going nowhere. Okay, we got it. But I got to tell you, the Jets are so bad. And by the way, the trading deadline comes and goes. You got a Le'Veon Bell as an asset. How do you not move him? How do you not move him? Sam Darnold's regressing. We don't know how good he's going to be because he stinks so badly with the Jets. The only good thing about the Jets is their lone victory this season, which was against the Cowboys. So Cowboy fans have the unenviable position of having lost to one of the worst teams in football on their resume. That's about it. There's no other good that comes from this. Adam Gase needs to go. He needs to go. Don't get rid of him this season. I don't mind you getting rid of Freddie Kitchens right now. I don't think Freddie Kitchens should be fired. I think Freddie Kitchens should be demoted. I think he should go back to being the offensive coordinator for the Cleveland Browns, working directly and intimately with Baker Mayfield to get this ship steered in the right direction. I think Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator for the Jets, the former defensive coordinator for the Browns, who was elevated to the interim tag as a head coach after Hugh Jackson was fired, Greg Williams should have stayed on as the head coach of this franchise. That's what should have happened. He should have been the head coach. Freddie Kitchens should have worked under him as this offensive coordinator, and that should have been that. And I'll be honest with you. Let me tell you something right now. Matter of fact, I take it back. Maybe Adam Gase should be fired because based on the job that Greg Williams did in Cleveland last year when he was the head coach, damn near midway through the season after Hugh Jackson was being fired, let him do it again with the New York Jets. Get rid of Adam Gase, put Greg Williams in charge, and watch what he does, Christopher Johnson. You got nothing to lose. You've got nothing to lose. I mean, what? How much are y'all gonna put the Jets through? How much are you gonna put fans through? I mean, times are so bad for Fireman Ed, you're almost wishing for a fire so he could be relevant again. I mean, this is just straight garbage. Going out there week after week, stinking up the joint like that. Make me sick. They're going to make news talking about Jamal Adams. Oh, we didn't try to move him. Well, why the hell didn't you? He's one of the elite safeties in football. He's an asset. You might as well have tried to get rid of him, get something. At least that's what the Dolphins are doing. What are the Dolphins doing? They traded away Tunsil. They traded away Stills. What are they doing? Acquiring assets. That's what they're doing. Because they got a plan. As much as they stink, they got a plan. What is the Jets' plan? What's the plan? You trade Williams. Where do you trade it to? To the same damn arena. Playing for the New York Giants. What you get for him? I mean, everything about the Jets stink. And by the way, speaking of something, Jonathan, may I be allowed to veer left because something's on my mind near and dear to my heart. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm born in New York, raised in Hollis, Queens, New York City. Born in the Bronx, raised in Queens. I now live in Jersey. Been living in Jersey for years. Because I like to go to the noise. I don't like the noise at my doorstep. You know, whose bright idea was it to build that big mall by MetLife Stadium, John? Who are these people? As if traffic at the Lincoln Tunnel ain't bad enough. As if the traffic jams ain't going to shift to the Holland Tunnel and the George Washington Bridge. I mean, as if it was bad enough. So if you are a New York Jets fan, it's bad enough that you continue to expose yourself to this level of suffering. But on top of it all, they're making it worse because traffic ain't going to be no better. Traffic ain't going to be no better. You can't make this up, y'all. You can't make this up. Adam Gase needs to go. Hear me when I tell you, you'll never win with him. I don't believe it. I'm happy to apologize if I was wrong. I don't believe it. You'll never win with him. He's not the man for the job. He needs to go. Freddie Kitchens needs to be demoted. Adam Gase needs to go. He really, really does. I ain't too damn high on Pat Shurmur either. But at least there's been a few more bright moments, particularly with his push to get Daniel Jones as the starting quarterback for the New York Giants. They're scheduled to host a home game Monday Night Football tonight against the Dallas Cowboys. Can't wait for that one. Can't wait for that one. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. We'll talk about that and more NFL action coming up. My man Booker McFarland, voice of Monday Night Football for the family. He'll be on with us to start off hour number 2. So don't touch that dial because I'm going to get to your phone calls before I do any of that. You are listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show. ESPN Radio, ESPN News. By the way, when it comes to hiring, you don't have time to waste. You need to get to your short list of qualified candidates fast. That's why you need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes, set up screening questions based on your job requirements, then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Your time is precious, so let Indeed help you get to your short list of qualified candidates and discover why more than 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. That's Indeed.com/hire.